Come to Alaska, they said. Come on the very last cruise of the Alaskan season, they said. Get sick. They didn't say that, but that's a reality for a bunch of cruisers right now. Also, we have an update on the storm, Hurricane Helene. Still, cruises impacted by that devastating storm. And we've got a couple of cruisers actually finding love in the most unexpected place. Or at least I didn't expect it. Yeah, cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views. It's for your face. For your face on a Sunday the 29th of September, 2024. And I took a little footage of the storm when it first started at our house. Here's what it sounded like. And for us, fortunately, it didn't really get much worse than that. It got darker, a little windier, a little rainier, but we were very fortunate when it came to Hurricane Helene. Huge thanks to everybody reaching out with their thoughts and concerns and their prayers. You know, we were fortunate. And unfortunately, when you're fortunate in something as huge and as devastating as a big Category 4 hurricane, your good fortune is probably someone else's misfortune. I'm just saddened by all of the footage that I've seen of coastline towns flooded from storm surge and, whatever's going on in North Carolina and Tennessee. I think a river overflowed, maybe a dam broke, but like cities that I love, that I've been to a lot, Asheville, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, that whole area just wrecked with flooding. And the loss of life continues to be tallied up because of this storm. It's very sad. But we've talked about it before. Life is a weird continuum where there's events of joy and happiness and exuberance coexisting at the same time as events of sadness and despair and devastation. And a lot of it has to do with our relativity to those circumstances. So, at the macro, at the high level, all we really can do is celebrate with those who celebrate and mourn and be sad with those that are dealing with devastation. And that's where we're at today. We continue to have thoughts and prayers for those that are going through this situation. We still do have some cruisers and cruises dealing with challenges because of Hurricane Helene, particularly really close to us, about 45 minutes south in the Port of Tampa. Port of Tampa did open up yesterday, and it's going to allow some cruise ships that have been out to come back in. Carnival Paradise coming back in today on Sunday. It was delayed. It was supposed to be back, I believe, on Thursday. And then Royal Caribbean Serenade of the Seas also coming back in on Sunday. The Margaritaville at Sea Islander, they were supposed to come in today. Their turnaround is delayed until Monday, and then the next cruise will depart on Monday. They're going to adjust the schedule. The Grandeur of the Seas and the Enchantment of the Seas, they were scheduled to come in on Saturday, and they were also impacted. It's starting to get back to normal for cruisers, but I've been messaged by several people saying, oh, I got a couple extra days at sea. And that certainly can be good or bad. Big ups on the cruise lines for keeping people safe. But some people, not needing a couple extra days at sea could be a challenge for their job and getting back to their daily lives. Some people, it works out okay. Again, just a big blanket. Hope everybody's doing good out there and having the best thoughts possible for everybody that's dealing with the storm. Cruise news story number 2, Virgin Voyages is bringing back a popular program that it introduced last year. It's pretty interesting to me. Virgin Voyages bringing back Summer Season Pass, and this is kind of an interesting way to look at purchasing a cruise. The tagline is actually pretty funny. They're offering guests a chance to work from helm. H-E-L, it's a play on work from home. The idea, and they pitched it last year, is that people like to vacation, but people still have to work. And if you're somebody who can work while you're on vacation, why not do it on a cruise ship? 3 Virgin Voyages ships will be offering these season passes. The Scarlet Lady We'll be doing cruises over in Rome. Going to have stops in Rome, in Monaco, Iceland, Ireland, Portugal. These are going to be 20-day cruises, so they have 3 sets of them: June the 1st through the 22nd, July the 27th through August the 30th, and September the 5th through the 25th. The Valiant Lady also having some extended cruises down in the Caribbean, going to be going to the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, Grand Cayman. They're going to have sailings from June the 1st through the 29th, the 4th through the 27th of July, August the 1st through the 29th, or September the 3rd through the 26th. The Resilient Lady is also in the mix, doing sailings over from the Greek Isles, Santorini, Mykonos. They're going to go to Dubrovnik in Croatia, stop in Turkey and in Montenegro. Those sailings will be June the 8th through the 29th, July the 10th through the 27th, and September the 7th through the 21st. All of these have a starting price, $14,999 per cabin. So it sounds like that's for 2 people. I think I know who this appeals to. This seems like it would appeal to remote workers that want a change of scenery opposed to wherever they normally do their remote work. But I feel like if the pricing's right, this could be good for folks that travel all the time. So I don't know. What do you think about this kind of offering? Is this something you'd be interested in? Leave a comment below. You know what I didn't have to think about 20 years ago? Whether or not some hacker or identity thief would be trying to steal my data for me just using the internet. And then compound that, I travel all the time now. Last week I used public Wi-Fi at the airport, public Wi-Fi at a hotel. I really run the risk sometimes of exposing my internet data. Very thankful for the sponsor of today's episode, Private Internet Access VPN. PIA VPN is an application that you use to keep your data encrypted and therefore hidden from bad people on the internet, identity thieves, hackers, people that want to take your data and do negative things with it. I really like PIA VPN for a couple reasons. First and foremost, I enjoy the pricing model. You get all of your devices included for just one low price, and in addition to that, they have coverage for all of the major operating systems: iOS, Android, macOS, Windows, and Linux. And you know, the cool thing is PIA VPN is one of the world's most transparent VPN providers. They never store any of your data that runs through their servers. They don't keep any logs. They've got 24/7 support and a 30-day money-back guarantee, so that you can try the service without any risk. Now look, this isn't just about data protection, it's also about data access. Companies like Netflix, they'll limit what you can watch on their service based on where you're at. It's called geofencing. In Italy last week, I wasn't able to watch the next episode of a show I've been binging, Ink Masters Turf Wars. But the cool thing is, they don't show it in Italy. That's the thing on the Netflix service. But the cool thing with PIA VPN, I was able to connect to a server in the US and use my US Netflix account to watch that Ink Masters. You can try PIA VPN for yourself at a discounted price. Click my link in the description, www.piavpn.com/La Lido Loca. You're going to get 83% off of your subscription, about $2.03 a month, and you're going to get 4 months completely free. Big thanks to PIA VPN for sponsoring today's episode. All right, let's talk about one of those nightmare cruise scenarios. We have a Royal Caribbean cruise ships, the Radiance of the Seas. Radiance of the Seas finishing up its Alaska cruising season. Cruises in Alaska starting to wind down. And well, on the last sailing of the Radiance of the Seas, the CDC has reported that there has been a gastrointestinal illness outbreak. Just from a numbers perspective, the Radiance of the Seas has 2,172 guests on board, and a total of 167 of those guests reported the symptoms of diarrhea, cramps, headaches. That's about 7.69% of the overall guest population. 3 of the 894 crew members were reporting those symptoms. You just have to have 3% before it becomes a reportable incident with the CDC. An investigation is ongoing as to the cause of this illness. They still haven't targeted a specific thing like norovirus or E. coli, but a lot of these things end end up being a sanitation issue, and really a personal sanitation issue. Probably worth saying anytime you're cruising, especially with a bunch of people in community. Don't forget that cruising is a communal activity. Not that you guys all have to, play the guitar and sit around and circle cross-legged, not that kind of commune, but communal in the fact that you're with a bunch of people. Make sure to washy, you gotta wash them hands. Now, I still have 2 more cruise news stories for you, including a story of a couple that found love in a most unusual place. But before I get to those stories, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. We're closing in on 265,000 subscribers. Are you a part of that number? We would love for you to be. Please hit that subscribe button with a big thank you in advance. All right, just a quickie. Holland America line is announcing festive menus and cocktails for their holiday season. This one hits home to me because Jenny B and I are trying to determine if we're going to go on a cruise for Thanksgiving. We got everybody coming to our house for Christmas, so we're going to be at home for Christmas. But I do like the idea of going on a cruise that has a menu specifically targeted toward the holidays. So they're going to have festive offerings for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, and New Year's Eve. They're going to have a breakfast with Santa, Christmas Eve, and day feast, special Hanukkah treats, and they're even going to have cocktails. They've got cocktails with names like the Minty Elf Martini, Rudolph the Red Margarita, Spiked Eggnog, Christmas Cocoa Mint Coffee, Eggnog Latte. It sounds like a good time. Have you ever cruised during Thanksgiving or Christmas? What's your favorite cruise line for that? Did they do anything special like this? I did cruise on Royal Caribbean's Oasis of the Seas in December one year. They had this huge Christmas tree. It was really cool. Now, let's talk about our favorite cruise ship that hasn't sailed, Vie Odyssey. Look, I think that thing's gonna happen. All the people I'm following on YouTube they've got post thumbnails with smiling faces like, we passed our sea trials, we think it's going to sail. And that could happen as soon as tomorrow. But a story has emerged from there that I really like. There's a couple solo travelers that have been in Belfast waiting to sail on the Vie Odyssey. And well, they've decided to get married. These beautiful people here, this is Gian and Angie. They met while they were in Belfast waiting to get on the Vie Odyssey. And now 4 months later, Gian has proposed and now they're going to get married. They both have a cabin on Vie, so I don't know if they're near each other, if they're going to have separate cabins. I tell you what, that one thing I've thought about before is if I ever was going to live on a cruise ship, I thought about what would it cost to have 2 cabins that were connected to each other. Would that be less than a suite? Because, space is a premium when it comes to cruising, and I think you could probably do it if you had 2, regular sized cabins. I don't know, with a story like this, it seems like maybe it's looking up for Vie and could be time to rename it the Love Boat. I think Princess might have something to say with that. Thank you guys so much for checking out today's episode. Hope everybody's having a fantastic weekend. This is Tony for La Lido Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.